program on BHF Movies. My name is David Elo. This is Time Out with David Elo, where we try to look at issues within Nigeria and also outside Nigeria to bring the news to you so that you'll be able to have an idea of what is happening around the world. Most people are busy. They might not be able to know what is happening. So we try to bring an update of some of the news. We will talk a little. Yesterday we said something about Joe Biden and his son. But before then, we want to say that the peace deal between Hamas and the IDF is very fragile, but at least it's still working. The IDF was able to intercept and stopped the Iranian-backed plane that seems to be bringing arms to Syria. They bring arms to Syria from where they smuggle it to Lebanon to give to Hezbollah. But at the moment now, there's crisis even within Syria. Some rebel groups are standing high and fighting, trying to, Syria is completely shattered after the Arab Spring. The Syrian President Assad is among the few, or if not even the only one, that was able to survive that Arab Spring. Maybe let me use the word "a few." His father was there for a very long time. He took over from his father. And the Syrian president have not been having it easy since after that Arab Spring. There's quite a lot of contentions, there's crisis here and there, because Syria is now divided, completely divided. Some parts are controlled by the Assad, some parts are controlled by the Kurds, some parts are also controlled by some of the rebels that have been there. It's just fragmented. There's also some parts controlled by the US-backed rebel group, also all within Syria. And during that crisis, the Iranian military, Hezbollah played a major role in trying to secure the seat of Assad. So they also see it as part of their axis of resistance, because they played a major role in trying to assist the Syrian president to remain in power after such a long time. You finish serving the father, and now they are serving the son. And the people say, no, we have served the father, we cannot continue to serve the son. And the crisis came in, and the rest, there was war. A lot of Palestinians that were living in Syria were killed. And the man is still there, although he's not presiding over the entire country. There are also some countries, like I said, that is being controlled by the rebels in Syria. So some of these rebels, the Kurds and the rest, are now coming back. They are trying to take advantage of the crisis that is on now, and the fact that Hezbollah, who has been part of defending Syria to such a large extent, Hezbollah have been decimated. The Hezbollah terrorist organization has been messed up. All its leadership have been wiped out. And so this rebel group sees as an opportunity to step in to see if they can be able to gain more control. And so it looks as if the Iranian is trying to bring in more arms for them, for the Syrian-backed army to be able to contend with what is happening in the land. But unfortunately, the Israelis intercepted it and won the aircraft to return back. So there's this front and back here and there, and also the Israelis wired a warning shot. They arrested some Hezbollah members that they say they are trying to violate the ceasefire deal. The Israelis have up to 60 days to withdraw completely from Lebanon, and also within that 60 days, the Lebanese army are supposed to take over the boundary. So there's a buffer zone that was created for the Lebanese army to be able to step in. But the problem we have with this kind of issue is that the Lebanese army are weak. They are not strong enough to compare to the Hezbollah. And apart from say they are weak, it's obvious that some of these Lebanese military men are also part of Hezbollah. So for them to be able to enforce the ceasefire deal will be very, very difficult. Very, very difficult, because the Lebanese army, they are weak, and like I said, and part of the Lebanese army are also part of Hezbollah. They are also, they are part of Hezbollah. So it's very, very difficult. That's why the Israelis in the clause say they want to enforce the ceasefire deal themselves. Remember, part of the ceasefire deal is that the Hezbollah terrorist group should disarm and move far, far, far way beyond the Litani River. Now, the issue of disarming will be very difficult because this is not the first time they have such a deal. They've had the deal before in 2006, and the deal was broken by Hezbollah. And so the Israelis feel they cannot trust Hezbollah. The Hezbollah is a terrorist organization. So you can't trust a terrorist organization. It's not a legitimate army. They are terrorists. And so for you to say you want to sign a peace deal with terrorists and you expect them to abide by it completely, I think it's going to be a little bit difficult. It will be a little bit difficult. So as it is now, the truth is that it's only the Israelis that can enforce the ceasefire. They are the only ones that can enforce it, because immediately the Israelis leave there, you find that the Hezbollah terrorist group will just put on the uniform of the Lebanese army and move straight there. How will you know? Because, like I said, part of the Hezbollah group are also part of the Lebanese army. So just to change uniform. So it's a fragile peace deal. Let's pray that they enjoy the peace deal while it lasts. On that issue, we want to look at quickly this morning. Yesterday we were talking about Joe Biden and how he pardoned his convicted friend, son, the son that was convicted of drugs, gun, and also tax evasion. And to evade tax in the U.S. is a major crime. And the question people are asking is that there are a lot of people who are currently in prison here because of the same offense. I think what is good for the good is good for the gander. So what that means is that we also expect that Joe Biden will pardon all inmates in prisons who have issues to do with tax evasion, a gun deal, drug deal. Because if he can do that for his son, he should do for everybody. Although Joe Biden himself said the trial was politically motivated, but I tried to look at it. I don't understand what you mean by politically motivated, because there were evidence, there were facts, and Hunter Biden himself agreed and also conceded to the fact that yes, he's guilty of this crime, and because he pleaded guilty, a date of 8 was fixed for the commencement of the sentencing, because he's already convicted, sentencing. So, but before the date comes, the father sneak him out completely from that crisis. So it's no more. He has been pardoned, and once you are pardoned, given state pardon, all the cases concerning you regarding that issue have been permanently dropped. They just told him, the father told him, go and sin no more. Go and sin no more. That's what Joe Biden told his father. You are free, you are forgiven. Go and sin no more. You remember that man at the pool of Bethesda who was there for 38 years, a crippled man. When Jesus met him, Jesus told him, pick up your mat, stand up. Jesus healed him completely, and he stood up. When he later met Jesus, Jesus told him, go and sin no more. I guess it's the same thing with Joe Biden, son now, Hunter Biden. The system, the American system, the Democratic-led government, led by Joe Biden, have decided to tell him, go and sin no more. So we hope he's going to learn his lesson, and he will not get himself involved in drugs, in illicit deal. I think that should be the first son of the president, of a sitting president of America, that has ever been convicted of one crime or the other. And it's so pathetic, because it was obvious that the young man was involved in all kinds of crime, all kinds of criminal activities, drugs and the rest, all kinds, the deals in Ukraine, the deals in China, terrible, terrible things. And it's unfortunate. I pity Joe Biden, but again, there are people that say it is possible that Joe Biden is aware of all these things. It's just a cover-up. Well, the man has not come out to say he's aware of it, but definitely there seems to be a state cover-up. They did everything possible to see how they can cover up, but thank God for the justice system. The justice system might not be too perfect, but they have a system that is okay. And so he was tried and convicted based on the justice system. If it is a case in Nigeria, for example, the case will never reach court at all. It will never reach court, never. Say the beginning of the sitting president, for where the case will reach court. That is the case. That is the tragedy of the Nigerian situation. But in a place like America, to a large extent, nobody is above the law. But in Nigeria, those that are in government are above the law. The children of the government, the children of our leaders are above the law. The rich men, they are above the law. Definitely, you can't. Look, I've always said, there's no way you will ever say that those who are stealing the Nigerian crude oil, the government does not know. The government knows. Don't deceive anybody. We're not fools now. We'll not be mugu now. We get brain. And so it's not as if it's rocket science. The criminals involved are known by the government. Those who are involved in racketeering of our oil, selling the crude oil. Well, I mean, we are talking about crude oil theft, for goodness sake. Some of those barges and the rest which they use to carry those crude oil, some of them are up to 250,000, in a quarter of a million liters. Some have 500,000 liters. So you drive a ship, you drive the barge to where you begin to suck the oil. And you are going to suck oil 250,000 liters, 500,000 liters on a barge. And the Navy and the government say they are not involved, they don't know who is involved. This is not a story now. A lie. My brother, in this modern world, when you can use drone to check everything you want to check, the power of drone will check it up. The theft is still going on now. All those ones they are talking about paying so much money. Even with so much money that was paid to Tom Polo and his men, the fraud is still going on, because that tells you how deep, how powerful the men that are involved in. The barge they were able to see and they apprehended, before you know what's happening, they burn it so that there will not be evidence. They burn the barge, burn it to the evidence. And the crude oil theft is still going on now. For a very long time, the Nigerian citizens have been taken for a ride. They've been seen as fools. They look at it and they say Nigerians are mugu. So the leaders feel Nigerians are mugu. Nigerians are paying the price now in terms of how expensive things are, in terms of hardship. They are paying the price of the poor leadership of the past. And these leaders they finished performing poorly. They've gone home. They are eating the loot. They and their family and their children, they are eating the loot. Even if a liter is fuel is 10,000 naira per liter, there are some of them that will not have issues, because they can afford it. Their children can afford it. They've stolen more than enough money when they were in government. And unfortunately, like I've always said, in Nigeria here, it's once a man gets to the position of being a president and he leaves office as a president, they don't prove presidents. So whatever he steals is free to go and enjoy his loot. Because just being a president alone is an immunity against being probed. So no matter what you do when you are president, when you step down, they have nothing. They cannot do anything, because you are a former president, and so everything if you are alleged to have stolen, they can tell you go and keep your loot and enjoy yourself. As long as we continue to have this kind of system, there cannot be peace. There cannot be justice, rather. There cannot be. You can't have development. You can't have prosperity under this system. When the safety of the country in terms of fraud and the rest depends on the discretion of the president. So we are going to wait until we have a president who does not like money, who does not like fraud, and hope that he's going to use the money to fix Nigeria. So we are living in hope. But if he's the president that likes fraud and the rest, and is getting involved with fraud, he will continue to steal. There's nothing anybody can do about it, because once he comes out after 8 years or 4 years, he has presidential immunity. So nothing will happen to him. Like I said, it's the Nigerian system. Unfortunately for Joe Biden's son, he thought he was living in Nigeria, but he didn't know he's living in the US, where to a large extent we have a working system, and he was convicted. I know the way the American judicial system is. Even when you are convicted, you are given time before you are sentenced. So just few days, very, very few days to the day of the sentencing of Joe Biden's son, the father decided to tell him, go and sin no more. the government has forgiven you, and so you are free. But the question I want to ask, and the question people are asking is, what happened to those who had the same issues and they are jailed now? With that presidential pardon, will it be extended to those who had issues with tax issues and drug issues and gun issues? Will they also be pardoned generally? So there can be a general pardon. Because if Hunter Biden is singled out for pardon, why thousands of people are in prison serving sentence? I mean, they brought one of the states in America. They brought the commissioner of police, who was arrested, who had the same issues, tax issue, and in 2018 he went to court. He pleaded guilty, and he was sentenced to 10 months, and he served the 10 months in prison before he came out. So they interviewed him. He said yes, he pleaded guilty, but they took him there. He's a big guy in the police force. He's the commissioner of police. Even the fact that he's the commissioner of police, he has served his country, you are not above the law. That's what they did, and they arrested him, and he spent close to 10 months in prison. You understand? But of the same offense. Now, what Joe Biden is accused of is far, far more than that. Not just late tax, gun, all kinds of things, fraud, and the rest. But it doesn't have to spend a day in prison. Because once you are the son of the president, you also have immunity. That's what Joe Biden is trying to tell us right now. That not only does the president have immunity, the family members of the president has immunity, as far as America is concerned. As far as the Democratic Party is concerned, as far as Joe Biden is concerned, the children of the president and the wife of the president and the relative, probably the friends and the village members of the president have immunity. So once they are involved in any kind of crime, they will be pardoned. Because they have the sitting president happen to be their relative. It's a terrible thing. It's a terrible thing. And it's so sad because it's passing a wrong signal to country in Africa, especially Nigeria. Everything in Nigeria is copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste. That's the problem. That's what we have in this country. It's all about copy and paste. So very soon they'll begin to copy and paste most of the things that Joe Biden has done. So like I said, it's quite unfortunate. But again, I looked at it again. I try as much as possible not to be too professional about it. We have thousands of people who are angry, millions of people around the world, even in America and outside America, who feel they've been betrayed by the actions of Joe Biden, since he has said a number of times, again and again and again, that he will never pardon his son, which means he's not a man of integrity. He's not somebody that you can take his word serious. Once he says something, you don't need to go to the bank with it, because the word can change at any moment, at any minute. So it's not an ideal thing. It's very sad. But again, he's human. Let's look at it this way. He's human. This is an 80-year-old man who is the president of America. An 80-year-old man whose son is about to go to prison. An 80-year-old man who is aware of some of the anomalies, some of the business deal of his son. And if he allows his son to just go to prison like that, people will begin to question why it will not be right thing for the president to be tried after he has finished his tenure as president. So there are many intricacies. And so the man chose the human part of it. His human nature begins to speak. And even though his son has committed crime, even though he deserves to be punished because he has been tried by a court of competent jurisdiction. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. Even though he has been tried for a court of competent jurisdiction, he decided to pardon his son. And so the question I want to ask, if you were in the shoe of Joe Biden, will you pardon your criminal son who have been indicted in crime and about to be convicted, when you know you have the power to convict him? The man is about 90 years old, and the man will have loved to see that his son is a free man, so that in case anytime he wants to die, he should have his senior son come to bury him. And so he doesn't want a situation where when he dies, because maybe he might be there for the next 10, 15, 20 years. I don't know how long they will have sentenced him. And so if he's going to be there for 15 years, then by the time he comes out of, Hunter comes out of prison, Joe Biden will be like 95 years. And the man said, I don't even know whether I will live up to 95 years. Better I set my son free now, so at least I can have somebody that will bury me. Because if the son is not set free, there's every likelihood that while Hunter Biden will be serving his term in prison, the father might end up dying here because he will even die of heart attack and stress and the rest. So you choose easy way out. And what is the easy way out? My son, go and sin no more. And so the question I want to ask for those of viewers who are following us on the platform right now, what would you have done if you were Joe Biden? Will you have allowed your son to be sentenced? Because it's easier to say, there's a common saying that the dead body of another man, it's like wood, it's like load, it's like when you're carrying a bag of rice in your head. It's not a big deal. But when it's close to you, it becomes a problem. That is the human nature. It's easy to sit down and criticize and talk and quote the law, sections of the law, when you are not involved directly. But when you are involved directly, you find out that even those sections of the law you are quoting, you won't remember it again. And so the question we want to ask this morning is, if you were Joe Biden, will you allow your son to be sentenced? To be sentenced. Will you have allowed your son to be sentenced? Or you will have granted him pardon, just like what Joe Biden did now? But even then he has to say something to the American people. That's why I went ahead to say the trial was politically motivated. That's not 100% correct, because Joe Biden himself is not Hunter Biden himself is not a baby. He pleaded guilty to the crime because the crime was committed. He was convicted. He pleaded guilty, and he was about to be sentenced when the father granted him pardon. So I leave that to your conscience to answer. For those who can answer from the platform, you can answer on our comment section. And the question I want to leave, which I want you to answer before we look briefly at the Nigerian situation, is: if you were Joe Biden's father, if you were his mother, and you are the president of America, will you have allowed your son to be convicted and sentenced to prison? Please, I want you to be sincere. If you were Joe Biden's father, if you were the father of Hunter Biden and you were Joe Biden, will you have allowed your son to be convicted and sentenced to probably 10, 15 years in prison when you know as president you have the power to set your son free? That is the question I want you to answer in the comment section. You can answer it. I can be short. And please let's be real. And finally, before we begin to round up our program, this early morning program, I want to ask this question again. When you look at the roads in Nigeria, you look at all the Nigerian roads. All the Nigerian roads are terribly bad. Terribly bad. Some time ago, my friend was traveling from Lagos to Benin, and he told me how terrible the road was. The road is so bad right now that people are even passing the bush. They are using their hand to submit themselves to kidnappers who are in the bush because they have to drive past the bush to avoid those terrible Nigerian roads. The roads are extremely bad in all the states. All the states, the roads are bad. Now, the question I want to ask is this. If you were the president of Nigeria, you have all these bad roads. Will you fix the bad road, or you will go ahead to build a coastal road worth trillions of naira? You have your road you have not fixed. Most of the roads are abandoned roads. People have collected money, and there's no state of emergency on the road because our leaders don't drive. They fly. They fly from place to place, so they don't drive. They have special jets. They give them jets. They can use it to travel around the world. And even if they want to, except they want to move from their house within the same city, that's when they begin to use a helicopter and jet and the rest. So you are president of a nation. If you are the president of a nation, where 80% of the road of that country is bad, extremely bad. 80% of the road is bad. And then you are told to build a coastal road worth trillions of naira, trillions. Which one will you have done? Will you have built the coastal road with trillions of naira, knowing fully well that you have limited cash? Or will you have gone to repair the road within the country? The road that people drive and pass through on a daily basis. And these are part of the reasons why goods seems expensive. Because when you are driving on the Nigerian road, you begin to see trailers, big trailers carrying goods, foodstuffs, and the rest collapse, fall down. How many times have we seen them? You see ripe tomatoes on the ground, you see this on the ground, you will see onions on the ground, all kinds of things, because the roads are bad. Look at the crisis that happened the other day, I think it was in Yobe State, where the tanker of fuel collapsed, while the people were trying to scoop fuel. The thing catch fire, and over 200 were burned to death. I also have more that were injured, that were rushed to the hospital. Some died in the hospital because the road was bad. It was a bad road that made this thing to fall. Oh, the government will come. When such things happen, immediately the government will come, set up a high-power delegation to give the country feedback. I know the secretary of the government has given this, blah, 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 set up a high-power delegation. In the next 1 month, we want to receive comprehensive reports about what happened, what led to the tanker of fuel to collapse that burnt and killed many people. My brother, which power dedication? You know, those white paper waiting for Nigeria. Everywhere don't food white paper for government house. There is no space again, because everywhere it has been filled with report of white paper report, white paper report. They set up this white paper report just to see how they can dose the tension at that time. They don't have the intention to use it for anything. If you go to some of these women that are selling foodstuffs, probably in Abuja and the neighboring cities, you will see your white paper report with the woman that is selling granite. She's using the white paper report to sell granite. She's using the white paper report to write bole. You got all the white paper report we have been receiving since this democracy started till now. We have not seen the outcome. We did a constitutional conference, spent so much money, did a constitutional conference. When money was spent, the report came out. Jonathan did not implement it. I don't know why he didn't implement it. After spending so much money to do that conference, he didn't implement it. And at the end of the day, a new government came in, and that was the end of it. So all the white paper reports that came from that conference, we don't know where it is till tomorrow. The government said, I don't know where the white paper report is, because, like I told you, those white paper reports have been thrown away, and they've thrown them away, and the cleaner in most of our government houses have taken those white paper reports, throw it to the outside, and those who are selling paper, condemned paper, have sold it to those market women selling granite and bole. You know, so you'll be shocked to find out that the report of your constitutional conference has been sold, have been thrown away. The white paper report have been thrown away, and the woman that says bole and akara buns, she's using your white paper report to wrap her akara, wrap her buns, wrap her granite, because nothing will come out of it. So even that white paper report regarding the people that died after they were trying to scoop fuel in Yobe State, have you heard anything again about it? Because Nigeria is every week new problem. Every week new problem. And once this new problem comes, they forget the former problem. You know, our leaders are so happy with Nigerians because Nigerians are short-sighted. Nigerians are not deep thinkers. You know, that was why when the rumor came in that the Port Harcourt refinery was working, you begin to see all kinds of bombardments in social media. Oh, thank God. They have done what Mongopal cannot do. Oh, thank God. What they could not do. He has broken the genes. He has done this. He has done that. Only to find out that a lie, a work. Nothing like that. Nothing like that. It's unfortunate. It's shameful. It's painful. It's annoying. Because as long as we continue to have this kind of leadership and followership, Nigeria will continue to remain at a stalemate. because there's a problem with the followership and the leadership of our beloved country. The leadership and the followership have problems, serious problems. And as long as they continue to maintain those problems, this crisis will continue. The crisis of bad governance, the crisis of poverty, the crisis of suffering. And like I've always said in this program, the Western world, they know what is happening. They are cool. They are happy with what is happening. Because it's the same system, the divide and rule system, which they were using for a very long time. It's the same system they are still using. Divide and rule. Divide and rule. The divide and rule system. It's the same thing that we're having now. You know, we have a system where that they use this tribe against this tribe, they use this tribe against this tribe, they use this religion against this religion. You know, it is when they want to campaign, that is when they try to tell you that, oh, we are serving the same God, the Christians and the Muslims. You know, but after campaign, when they are in office, you begin to see the massive killing that is going on. People have been butchered. And today, none of those people who have been butchered, none of them have we seen they have been sentenced or punished. Many of them, they kill and go. The young man that killed and burnt Rebecca in Sokoto State, has he been arrested? He said he ran to Benin Republic, as we are talking about, as I'm telling you right now, he's back in Nigeria. I mean, he said he ran to Niger Republic, but I'm telling you back, he's in Nigeria now. And the case don't die. Because the poor man does not have justice in Nigeria. Justice is only for the rich. When it gets to the issue of the poor man, the poor man life does not matter in this country, in this government. As far as Nigeria is concerned, the life of the poor man means nothing. The life of the poor man can be wasted. It's not useful. It's not needed. That's why Nigerians are desperate to make money. That's why they do anything possible to see that they make money. Because when you have money, to a large extent, you have immunity. But when you don't have money in Nigeria, it's a very big problem. It's a major crisis to be poor. To be poor in Nigeria is a major crisis. To be poor in Nigeria is worse than Ebola. It's worse than Ebola. You know, to be poor in Nigeria is worse than COVID. In fact, it is better you have COVID and Ebola at the same time than to be poor in Nigeria. Let me say that again. It is better you have money. It's better you have COVID and Ebola and money than to be healthy in Nigeria without money, because your life does not matter when you are a poor man in Nigeria. The poor man's life does not matter. Everything is controlled by money. Everything is controlled by money. Somebody is owing money and you are trying to report so that they will help you to retrieve the money. The security agent, where you are going to report to say they are owing money and then resolve the case, they will tell you that 10%, 20% of the money is their own. I remember some time when somebody was owing me money like that, I went there, I said, later I forgot about it. Because I find out that you keep spending money, and the man said, look, the man they owe money, you know, Nigeria they owe, are you going to kill him? He said he doesn't have. So I just told myself, I said, I need to use sense. Because he's owing me money, I know. But going to the police to report that he's owing me money, of what use? I will be spending, for coming to report, I thought you will spend money. You want them to investigate the case, they will ask you for fuel. They don't have fuel. Will you blame them? They don't have fuel. They don't have fuel. There was a time the report even came in that some of they kissed themselves. The policemen spend their own money for themselves, at least to be able to come out clean. You know, they are boots, they are this, they pay for it. They use money to pay for it. They have vehicles in the station, there's no fuel. You expect the policeman to use his own money to buy fuel? No! No, yes, you call 911. Other countries, you call 911, you call the ambulance. Immediately the ambulance is very close to your house. You call 911. Immediately security agents are there, because the security agents are patrolling 24 hours. The Nigerian police is one of the best in the world. But without fuel, without money for expense, how do you expect them to perform? How do you expect them to perform? Do you know how much they sell fuel? And you expect the policeman to use the money buy fuel for most of the drive around Lagos or drive around Nigeria, drive around Abuja? That is the system. The whole system is scattered. It's completely scattered. So even when there's crisis, there's armed robbery crisis here and there, and you call the police, they will tell you that, the van is available, but there's no fuel. And really, there's no fuel. You go to, the other day I called NEPA people, and I told them, PHCN, and I called them, I spoke with them, because I know some of them. I called them, and I said, look, we don't have light, we don't do this. And he told me that, sorry, we will not get light. As we are talking right now, a generator will use. NEPA office, they are using generator, because they themselves not get light. NEPA office can be there for 3-4 days, they not get light. And you are going to complain, say you not get light, you meet them, say they use generator. That is the country we are living in. Everything is scattered. And I'm beginning to feel that maybe one of the best way out of this crisis we are facing now is to decentralize governance. If it is possible for us to work out a system where some of these things, like the police, the NEPA, and the this, should be controlled from the states, not from the federal. There's so much things at the federal. Let the federal just take care of army alone and custom. Army and custom and foreign visit of foreign leaders. Let the army take care of that. Let the federal government take care of that. Issues with custom, immigration, issues with foreign leaders visiting Nigeria, let it be handled by the federal government. Let the states go back and begin to handle some of these issues that are very close to the life of the people. Issues like power, issues like policing, issues like day-to-day business. Because it doesn't make sense. It's not working. All this money is just there, it's not working. You get to the station, they don't have fuel in their car, and it's true, they don't have fuel. There's crisis in your area, you invite the police to come. They want to come, they want to work. Nigerian police are among the best. But they don't have fuel. If they have enough fuel, they can be patrolling everywhere, patrolling. But which money you want to buy fuel, they patrol? You expect the policeman who is receiving small salary to use his salary to buy fuel to come pursue criminals in your street? Let's be very sincere now. Let's be very sincere. You expect the policeman to carry his shakabula and come to your area to fight armed robbers that are holding sophisticated arms. Sophisticated arms. You expect them, the Nigerian police, to carry his gun, his shakabula, cock and shoot, to come who they fight armed robbers that carry propulsion? We are not ready. We are not ready. Go to the police stations at times. You see the way they are. They are able-bodied men, intelligent men. That's why today you find that a lot of intelligent people, young people, graduates, they shy away from the police force. And it's supposed to be it's something we'll discuss some other day anyway. It's supposed to be something of pride to serve your nation. But under which condition? Where even the councillor, the chairman, the local government chairman is even making more money than the commissioner of police in the state. Making more money. Somebody just became a local government chairman in 6 months. He has built duplex, 3-4 duplex. You ask yourself, so where did he get the money from? That is the country we are living in. That is the system we are living in. Let's fix our roads. Not all this story that they are talking about building this thing all the way from Calabar, Coastal Road, all the way from Calabar to the north, to pass through Lagos. And we don't. Is that what we need now? Our roads are bad. You cannot move. Goods and services is being hindered, hampered. Those bringing food from the north is collapsed. Go to the road as you are traveling. You begin to see the food coming from the north. You begin to see them fall on the road because the roads are bad. I was thinking the government that is interested in the people will declare a state of emergency. But no, they didn't declare a state of emergency. They want to start a coastal road because it is from that coastal road that people can get their own egunje from. Overinflated costs. And they will collect their own share. It's just to start a new project to collect share. The whole thing is about collecting share. It's not about the people. It's what they will benefit if they award this contract. So it's all about what to benefit if we award this contract. But we want to bring to the attention of Nigerians and the people and those in government that the roads are bad. Our roads are extremely bad, and those carrying goods and services, they are losing. People are losing manpower, energy. You spend hours on the road. And as you are driving past, you begin to see trailer, you begin to see lorry carrying foodstuffs, collapse, fall. The whole foodstuffs on the ground. And I ask myself, now money they take buy this thing. Now money, God, now money. Because you see the road, some will go deep, you can't go up, you go deep, you can't go up. A Nigerian road. There is no money to fix those roads, but they have money to start trillions of naira of coastal road. What do you want to use it for now? For now. Everything is about starting new projects. Eat money, chop money, because the project for the repair of the old roads, those that were there before have collected their own egunje. They don't use the money, they don't even shit and come out. And so they know they will not benefit anything from them. So they have to award another fresh contract with the unending Nigerian money. When it comes to wastage, the government has money. But when it comes to the well-being of Nigerians, Nigeria don't have money. When it comes to wastage, the government will always have money. There will be money in the treasury to waste. But when it comes to the well-being of Nigerians, issues that have to do with Nigerians, the well-being of Nigerians, the government don't have money. They don't have money when it comes to Nigerian issue. But when it comes to the issue of giving bogus contracts, something that will cost 10 naira, they will give out a contract for 300,000 naira, from 10 naira to 300,000. If you see the contract they give, you will be shocked. They award bogus contracts and they pay upfront. Look at the former governor of Abia State that was accused of building airport, and today we are still looking for the airport. We have declared the airport missing. And we pray that the DSS in Nigeria will be able to help us to look for the airport in Abia State. Because the governor said airport has been built and paid for. The document shows that they've awarded the contract, it has been built, paid for. But we are still looking for the airport. And we are hoping that maybe the FBI will join Nigerian DSS to search for that airport so we can see the airport. Because we have not seen it. That is Nigeria. This is Nigeria. Where fraud takes place, monumental fraud. Massive fraud. Massive fraud. And that's what's going on. That's why everybody now is dropping everything he's doing. Everybody wants to enter politics. Probably that's why we also have a situation where some of the professors they bring to come and monitor the elections and give reports have also compromised, because that's an opportunity for them to also make money from politicians. All the properties in Nigeria today, new properties you are seeing, 90% is owned by politicians. Buying houses, buying land, buying houses. In fact, that's what they specialize in now. New houses. You ask who owns this? Oh, this politician. Who owns this politician? Who owns this politician? They are now buying houses and investing all the stolen loot on properties when Nigerians are suffering. They remove subsidy. The only thing that Nigeria is benefiting from, they remove it, so that they can have more money to spend. Because the money they remove from subsidy, we were thinking they will pump it into other sectors like the road and fix up our road for us and make energy a little bit affordable. But no, that's not their priority. It's to save the money so it can be looted. It's unfortunate, it's sad, it's shameful. We are Nigerians. Nigerians belong to us. We are not foreigners. We are not visitors. We must have the interests of our country at heart. What is going on right now is not good form of leadership. It's not touching, the leadership is not touching the life of the people. We run a system now that does not benefit the ordinary man. It only benefits the rich, because the rich have enough time to defraud the country. The biggest problem right now in Nigeria is too much fraud. And the fraud have not stopped. The fraud is getting worse. Until we meet again in the evening, my name is David Elo. Please, want to subscribe to BHF Movie on YouTube. Like, subscribe, share. press the notification button so that when we come again in the evening we are going to look at something very sensitive. And the question we want to ask in the evening, the Christians and the Muslims, do they serve the same God? We are not trying to look at the one that is a better religion. We are not interested in that. Nobody is interested in that. We want to know whether the Christians, the God the Christians are serving, the God, the Father of Jesus Christ of Nazareth that the Christians are serving, and the Allah that the Muslims are serving, is it the same being? Is it the same being or is different being? Is it the same being with different name? Or they are two different identities? Is Allah separate from the God of the Christians? Or is the same God, but he manifests in different ways? He manifests in some way as Allah to Muslims, manifests as the Father of our Lord Jesus Christ to Christians. These are some of the things we want to find out in the evening. So please, in the evening, I want you to join us. We want to know the difference between Christian and Muslim. Are they serving the same God? We want to know if the Christians and the Muslims are serving the same God. So subscribe to BHF Foundation, subscribe to BHF Movie on YouTube, and also follow us in the evening while we try to handle this issue. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day.